What is up, guys, and welcome to today's episode number 41 for my Ipswich Town Road to Glory career mode. And as you can see here, our first game will be Manchester City, where we're equaling points with them at the moment. Obviously, I don't know how that's really going to end up, because Leeds United is currently second and Liverpool are currently first, which is an absolute weird one to say. Now, it looks to me that Manchester City have put up an equally strong lineup for their team as they have done with the Community Shield, so it's going to take quite a bit of effort to actually get a point or 3 points out of this one. I mean, hopefully we can get 3 points. I'd love to get 3 points out of every game, but you know that's not going to happen with the teams around us, and EA's luck there as Dolberg tries to find Giles but doesn't. He gets dispossessed as Haaland then sweaties it into Phil Foden, and Phil Foden plants it in the back of the net and makes it an early lead for Manchester City. It's only 13 minutes in, and it didn't really take them that long, did it, at all? I mean, we all know Manchester City were probably going to be up there. The champions last season, you know, look to maintain their title from last season, but it's going okay so far. You know, they're a pretty dominant team in this match. We're not really looking like we're coming into the game at all, as Bowden finds Dolberg. Looks like he's offside, but he wasn't, so Ederson with a good save, which was definitely needed, because otherwise he would have been onside and he would have scored. So Haaland gets played through, but Keller with a really nice save there for them. For us, as we have a corner, but it plays around into the box, and Man City can't yet clear it as Bowden fires it. I mean, that far out. I mean, should have made more of his chance that he had, but unfortunately only fires it straight at the keeper as Christensen sees Bowden in acres of space, has a shot. Wow, that is not like him at all. I mean, I was fuming at myself at that shot. I mean, it's 81 minutes in with a clear-cut chance from Bowden. You'd think he'd put it in the back of the net, but he didn't. So it was into the 84th minute, 3 minutes on from that missed chance, as Christensen gets played in by Dolberg. Christensen runs into the penalty area, has a shot, puts it past Ederson, and we go a 1-1, and that is the point we needed and we wanted. I was really relieved at that. I mean, the 87th minute, and nothing really much else happened from that. And now for the Champions League! Yes! So excited playing this Champions League, but then when we got drew up against Real Madrid's Roma and RB Salzburg, I was absolutely crapping myself. So here we have a slightly rotated lineup. Obviously Dewsbury Hall, Danny Ward and Harris coming on to play. I know Dolberg was brought in to play the Champions League, but I thought RB Salzburg, you know, Harris hasn't really had that much game time, and I still rate Harris as a player, and also Wes Burns come in for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because I still rate him as a player as well. And Burns manages to find Bowden as a nice easy tap in there, making it 1-0 nice and early on as well. 13 minutes in. That's a bit of deja vu. Well, I say deja vu, it's a bit of coincidence there. We go 1-0 down to Manchester City 13 minutes in, but then we go 1-0 up against RB Salzburg 13 minutes in. Though RB Salzburg do get an equaliser just before the half-hour mark, and it was a nice lovely chip goal, but Danny Ward really should have come out to claim that quicker. Not entirely sure it was his fault, but you know, if the defence gets split, you really want your keeper to come out and collect that as quick as possible, as Adamu has a shot and Danny Ward makes up for his chip shot earlier that got past him, and he makes the save, as Adamu has another shot. I mean, Adamu's been playing pretty well for RB Salzburg recently, as that goes out for a goal kick there, and Christensen's now on the ball trying to find a early or late winner, shall we say, as Norrington Davis, the man who didn't really want to be in that sort of position, because he's not really the type to have many goals to his name, but nevertheless he has the shot, and it does go a little bit wayward from that area as RB Salzburg looks to try and find a winner in the 86th minute, but we dispossess them, and now we're playing out on the counter-attack as Bowden plays it into Knight. Knight sees the run of Kasper Dolberg, who we've substituted on to make an impact, has the shot and puts it into the far right hand corner, making it Ipswich Town 2, RB Salzburg 1, and that is what you love to see. Let's have a look at this again. It is sort of curling into the goal, but it's sort of curling away from the keeper at the same time, so that is an absolute and amazing shot from Kasper Dolberg. That's what we wanted him to do, it's what we brought him in for, as we go ahead and get our first 3 points in for the Champions League. And there we have it, Jacob Lucas. Once the January transfer window comes round, he will be going to Olympique Marseille for £35 million. That is a large sum of money. So we only have 3 strikers now, which is a bit of a push. Well, Lucas is still with us until January, so we probably will be able to find in another rotation striker. I don't really want to get someone too highly rated because I'll ask for a crucial spot as Wolfton with a nice sliding tackle, or sliding block there, shall we say. But yeah, I don't really want to get someone that's going to say, oh, I want crucial first team football, and we've got Bowden and Dolberg on the team that have both asked for that crucial role, as Dolberg finds the back of the net nice late on just before the halfway point. As if we get a crucial guy, then it'll be 3 on a crucial, and we don't really want that as Harris is on a rotation. I mean, it's exactly what we want, is a rotation striker that, you know, doesn't mind being put on the bench and being substituted on every now and again when Kasper Dolberg clearly runs out of stamina quite a fair bit of times. As if we play a game like we've got Harrogate up against next, he won't be able to, I say won't be able to play, he's got little stamina to his name for this match coming up, even though there's a couple of days break. But nonetheless, we digress. So there are a few players that we have in mind to come in for Lucas instead, so that should be on the radar for January. And if anything happens to him, we can bring in some free agent players, which, you know, if we need them, then we need them. If we don't, then we'll just wait until January for that to come around, as we go 3-0 up against Nottingham Forest, and quite clearly the more dominant team against Nottingham. And yeah, they're not that great. I mean, even though they've got Anthony Martial, who I think we got injured, Coutinho, Kepa, none of that was able to make a difference as our 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest. And now we have the Carabao Cup against Harrogate Town. Now I feel very sorry for Harrogate Town because we're a Premier League team. Even our rotated sides is far better than them. I mean, they're a League 2 side. I didn't really check to see where they are in League 2, but I don't think I needed to after the end of this match. As we're 4 minutes in, Harris gets played in, turns, passes it into Lucas. Lucas fires it into the back net. 5 minutes in, nice and early on with the 1-0. I don't know what that celebration is. I think he's like, I've been scouted, I'm getting ready to go, even though you're still playing me. As Wright gets in, but we tackle him, and then Norrington Davis plays it into Christensen. Christensen acres of space because the wingback or the fullback has just charged up, plays in Harris. Harris fires it into the back of the net with aplomb and makes it 2-0, 15 minutes in. And I think you can see what's going to happen here, even with our players that we've got and Harrogate with the rotated sides. I mean, our lowest rated player is 72, which is Wes Burns. I mean, everything else is just absolute mid-70s to, well, 80 rated, I think. Yeah, I think they'll be 80 rated soon, should we say. As Norrington Davis plays into Lucas. Lucas fires it into the back of net just before the 20-minute mark, making it 3-0. And this is just going to be an absolute rout of a game. I don't think Harrogate, we're not going to go easy on them. I want to see how many goals we can score, as I think we can score quite a lot of goals. As Harris plays it into Christensen. Christensen finds Harris as he takes a touch and does the defender, but then obviously we get tackled, and they play it out only as far as our central mid player, and then Harris turns, shoots and fires at the back of the net, making it 4-0. And I don't know why I was trying to silence his players, as oof, that doesn't look good, not at all. I don't know how long that's going to be out for. Harris, now we are down to 3 strikers, with one of them leaving in January, so we've got a fair bit of time still having 3 strikers that we're going to have to see at the end of that, the end of the episode. Well, I say at the end of the episode, I do know he's out for 2 months now, and yeah, we're going to look to get a free agent in, because there's nothing really we can actually do with our rotated players. I mean, Lucas, yeah, we can play Bowden quite a bit, but he's got the stamina to actually do it. As speaking of, Bowden fires it in for 5-0. I mean, Bowden can play pretty much every single game that we'd ask him to, but I don't really want to play him in every single game that we can ask of him, just because, yeah, it's just too many games for one lad to play, especially at his age. So we are going to try and dip into that free agent pool and see what striker we can get that's at least, well, above 70, shall we say. I don't really want to find someone that's like lower than 70, just because we know how that can go. But I'm ruining the chance that I've sold Chaplin, as he would have been perfect to just slide into that rotation role. As Bowden, with a bicycle kick, he fires the back of the net, makes it 6-1. Yes, Harrogate have scored a goal. They split our defence, but nevertheless, I think that is just going to be a consolation goal for them. Yeah, it's 6-1 already with 72 minutes, and there's about 20 minutes left to go as Bowden finds Knight. Knight shoots and puts it past the keeper. I think he's beyond trying now. It's gone to 7-1. That's just an absolutely massive scoreline. I think it's our biggest scoreline we've ever had. I know it's against Harrogate, but you know, you've got to play your chances and you've got to win your games. I mean, Eskilderson plays through Lucas. Lucas sees the run of Bowden. Bowden gets played through, and of course, he's going to make it 8-1. I was going to say 8-0. I would have loved it to have been 8-0, but 83 minutes in, 8-1. Can we get 10? The crowd are chanting in the away end. We want 10. We want 10. As Bowden gets played through once again, it doesn't look like it. We're going to get 10. Looks like we're going to get 9 though on the 93rd minute out of +3 extra time. I don't really understand why they put extra time in on this Carabao Cup. Yes, Harris went off injured, but 9-1 is a scoreline that you wouldn't really want extra time on. And next up, we've got Leeds, Roma, Manchester United and Brighton in the league. And then let's have a look at the league table. Not really much has changed, just because we've only played a couple games in it. Liverpool still leading the way. It's only 2 points in it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.